Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Jackson Wang dropped a music video for his track featuring, Indian guy and I couldn't pronounce his name properly, so drop a music video. Actually, Jackson Wang is one of my biggest inspiration in what I do or I at least plan to do. So let us check it out and enjoy it, right? Being in place, I'm already. So let us go. My name is V and this is Funny Production. You know, this establishing shot, I liked it. One time I watched, a video from Studio Binder where I was told, how this leg, which makes this shot of like vertical going up shot is called. But I don't remember its name, but either way, this shot is called, especially at the point of establishing or like putting out, like the suspense, like one of the example shots I remember is the shot where someone is hiding under the floor and there are soldiers who are hunting him on the top sitting down and they use the camera to elevate, that action, The camera started from the soldiers, then moved it down to the person who was hiding, This shot is really good, This is cinematic, my inspiration. Let us keep watching. And this thing, I really like it. Sometimes you can like complicate things when you want to show action, especially, when I'm talking about who I really want to be, the indie filmmakers, the low budget filmmakers. Sometimes you really think like the action is showing those shots of blast blowing up, which are expensive to make, but the shot like this is also simple, like we are getting like that thing that was on the ground is being destroyed and you can see like sort of blood is not like the fruits from it, jumping to his face because it is being crushed. You can always use this when you have a low budget, Let us keep watching. And I really like how they are showing us just the reaction instead of the action. But this is a hint and the story we got it. That establishing shot showed us something on the table, but right now that thing is being crushed mercilessly. Let us keep watching. I really like them to elevate their choreography, whenever they are like making a strong move, they are adding like a shot like the place where they are is like being distracted, it is like breaking, like some things are falling down and this elevates the choreography and it makes you sweat, and I also think like they are adding a bit of camera shake to the camera. That is why like this dance, as the audience we are feeling that it is strong, like whatever they are doing, they have a lot of energy. Let us keep watching. I can show you how to dance, ain't no sleep. I'm always talking about the transitions, like not like those normal transitions that are made in post-production. Transitions which are made in production and how like sort of like move the camera to the ground and when they cut to the shot, like where he moves the camera, it was still there but there were hands, always try to go for, practical transitions in new projects, it will make them much more interesting. Let us keep watching. And what a way to make like, those sort of things like where people are circling around you. When you take the shot from the side, it's not always like that sweet. The movement is not elevated. But how do you make this, Take your camera to the top angle and the dance move of one in the circle and people are moving around or like whatever the shots, which involves like a very good formation, it will be sweet, if so like that song of Jenny called like Jenny, you can see how important, top angles are to the choreography of sick formations. And this is exactly what they use right here. Let us keep watching. And like in order to elevate it, make it more sweet, like the camera moved it down to his face, rotating. And this move, I can't tell you how much I liked it. I don't know how it was made, like this sort of camera rig is impressive, which makes like this, maybe there is some tricks I don't know, but either way, this move, like the camera was moving upward, instead of like making a cut and like cut into the shot, they chose the harder way, move the camera. There are many risks. One of the most risks, for those people who uses cinema lenses, which use, manual focus, is losing focus. So the focus photo here, shout out. Let us keep watching.
They make a ruckus. Smile when she turn around and bust it. I was in the streets just a day ago. Now I gotta turn around and cuff it. Green light, everything green light.
This music video is impressive. I was talking about how they were elevating, like the energy they have while they are dancing. Like when they hit the movement, something, like maybe it is like a calf. When they hit the ground, like sun is falling from upward to see like something is being distracted. And here they took it to the next level and like the Soto fell to the ground and destruction was a road. And another sick thing which happens was this transition. Like this involves, like some tricks because really the camera can't like through the ground and come out to the other side. Sick, like take the shot of him like falling down. Yeah, then you stop there and maybe doing post production, you add that shot, like of the ground, the camera passing by, and you also when you're going to make the next shot, begin from where you start. So you fell down, so the next shot what you do is you go up. This makes for a perfect, like transition, which is more practical than like post-production stuff, and everything, always go for practical transitions. Let us keep watching.
Love it when she toxic and mean like can't get a pass to the back room. While the best friend try to show me the tattoo. Hey, I thought this was a party. Hey, can't you catch me a body? Hey, birthday wish with a two-piece. I ain't trying to talk, I'm getting lost. Please, say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. I can show you how to dance.
Like this guy, his creativity is on the next level. Like, did you see that last shot? In order to make it their choreography, which was already badass, like they were dancing like, putting, like throwing the water. But in order to elevate it, he chose to add speed ramps, like in order to make like some parts of it more enjoyable. He chose to put them in slow motion, and I couldn't ask for more, like personally, my eyes, like were hooked and impressed. I don't know what happened to you, but either way, like everything about this music video so far, I'm impressed, every detail is a masterpiece itself. Let us keep watching.
Show you how to dance. Show you how to dance. I can show you how to dance. Ain't no sleep. We on wild. D&D. Don't fuck up my vibe. TMZ. Been living out loud. Give me that fuck. Give me that. बच्ची मिली रोड उत्ते चले टायर पाउंदे लोकी उत्ते चले ओ घुमदे शेर बिलो गले होई भैया बल्ले बल्ले एक्सो दी बोतल लगाई सीने विच आके जावे लाई ओ कुड़ी पूरी लगदी दवाई कुड़ी आंदी मेरे बल्ले ओ गला मुंडा सारियां ते भारी.
Are you seeing like how these guys are moving to the beat? Like every time the beat is like, I don't know the sound they are using, like on this music count, but whenever the beat is hitting, they are like this, this is a detail, like those details which make us the audience much more impressed, like this detail and this shot like they are using right here is a set. like how like they are going around them and everything, using the top angle in order to make like those choreographs with like sick formation, make them shine more, like I'm writing it. Let us keep watching. Did you see like this shot? Like I really like Jackson Wang. First of all, he's a very good dancer and a very hardworking person. And like you know, he is in like the King Jazz, like ever I was young, like I always liked the dance group King Jazz, like my first time accessing YouTube, I was always watching their performances, like and the choreography right here, like they are so like moving on the ground, like laying down. But in order to make it more sweet, just like to use like flickering lights, those lights which turn off and turn back on, like and continuously in that circle. In order to elevate, like this formation. Like if it is a music video, whatever you do, try to put it in accordance with the rhythm, like with the music, and in order to elevate it much more. It shows that the motion by which the lights are going on and going off has to match very well with how the rhythm of beat is going. And when I saw it, like probably at this rate I don't have anything to say except like this guy is my inspiration. Let us keep watching.
I ain't trying to talk, I'm getting lost in the group. Please, say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. Say you wanna dance. I can show you how to dance. Show you how to dance. Show you how to dance. I can show you how to dance. Ain't no sleep, we on wild.
I don't know if these people is dancing with are from King Jazz, but I'm noticing, some faces, like this guy in the picture of the black guy with dreads. I really know him, like he's a very great dancer. But this part where I'm writing is how like, like people like to confuse like dancing is just like dancing, like they are specific choreographs and have like to modify them to put together something. But what I really like about King Jazz, Jackson Wang, and the people who use this technique, like they take, things, general things which happens in our daily lives and they turn them into choreography. Like right now, you see like they are sort of like fighting, but how they are fighting moves along with the music. And that is no longer fight, it is a music choreography. And this is what I really like, The choreographs are good, but sometimes, like those dances, they're always like sort of repeating. You are bored of them. So sometimes I realize when they use, like real life situations and they turn them into choreography. And it is what I like about Jackson Wang. Let us keep watching.
Don't fuck up my vibe. TMC been living out loud. Give it that buck.
And that topic, I'm always talking about surprising the user. Take your time, surprise the audience, and stop in the shot where the camera is upside down. And right here, they did it. Yeah, let us keep watching.
I can show you how to dance.
Like, did you see this last shot? Always talking about not always the faces, like everything is important to be shown. Right here, they were dancing, but in order to make us the audience, like, they always know how to impress me. I don't know for your case, but they choose to show us the legs, and the legs, like, it showed like much more energy than when we were seeing the whole body, like how you saw like they were stomping on the ground. And that elevated, they choose like to use, those materials which produce a lot of dust. And I really think they had some dust in their hands, they were very strategically. Like I noticed this. like all this time, this whole music video is like it was shot in a cave. Like what was happening like back then when I was talking about how they elevate, like their dance moves, like the breeze and sun are falling from upward of them, like it is like this concept, like this guy and his concept, like it is clear. Each one in the cave and we are doing something which produces a lot of force. Of course, the cave will shake and dust and the breeze will fall from upward. You know, this is a concept which has, like a clear base. And I really like it about this guy, like he's a great thinker, my biggest inspiration. Let us keep watching. These student shots are hands up my favorite shots. The first shot is like, like I like the top angles, but you elevate it when you don't start from the top angle. But it becomes much more sweet when like you don't start from it, like you start from like the low angle, then you start and go up to the top angle. It is what elevates it, like always a bit of motion is good before you reach your destination. And another thing I like is how like right now the camera was like a bit back and it came forward, and now we can see Jackson Wang clearly, even though he is scary. Let us keep watching. I always talk about how we have like to be God to the audience, as the storytellers, like he started while he was like, like cracking, that thing, like distracting it. And then as it ends, it's like he was cracking it so that you can put it and eat it, like always don't leave those ends in your story unless you have to add like that empty promise I see everywhere that says to be continued. I liked this one. And like there's a test on the screen, so let us try and read it. Wow. I dreamed of going all the way to hell to deal with you. This is scary. Yeah, but this is a visual masterpiece either way. Let us finish it and I will tell you what I did think. Yeah, the act is Magic Man too. The song was called The Back, like what I really think, from the moment like I saw Jackson Wang, it was the moment before I even got into K-pop, like I was like, wandering around on YouTube. I stumbled upon his song called Crow, and when I saw it, like the choreography, the style, like I was impressed, and from that moment, I kept wandering around looking into Jackson Wang and his music, and from that day I was a fan, I watched it Blow, 100 Ways, Very Praise, and other songs, and I was very impressed. And he later became the biggest inspiration of what I'm not doing, but trying doing hopefully, like making cinematic things, like Hito and everything. And today's music video is a step further, this guy it's like a fine wine, like every time it goes bigger, like the last time it was the song called Go Bad and the production was sick, like everything, I like everything. And today we're back. He also did go even bigger than Go Bad, like this production, like I'm even at the leg of words that describe my impression whenever I see what Jackson Wang produces and does, like with his spirit and everything. I like it. And as you already know, when you like something, you credit two people who worked very hard to make what you saw more enjoyable to us. So today, the two people I'm complimenting are the first guy I'm complimenting today is Jackson Wang himself. I know like I've watched some of behind the scenes and the concept for his songs. Like he's the one who come up with them. Like and tries like to help put it in action. Like I'm complimenting his creative direction today. And the second person I'm crediting is the cinematographer. The cinematography for this music video was very good and enjoyable. It was like creative and yet professional and effective. And when you are more impressed, you compliment beyond our limit of two people. And the third person I'm crediting today is the one who added those visuals I liked, like VFX artist, like the editor puts shots together and everything to the best angles, but it doesn't add those things you saw, those splashing materials, those everything. The one who added those is the one I'm complimenting on the side place. Today I complimented two people. Jackson Wang himself as the creative brain behind this music video, the cinematographer behind the VFX editor behind this music video. Yeah. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Discord server. My whole goal here is to create, and be inspired and learn to do my things. I have a dream of making films and games with good music, and I really think if you help me, I will be able to achieve it. So until next time, stay safe. Peace. My name is Vic, and this is Funny Production.